And that takes us, for the first piece of this video, straight to Chicago, where people seem to be taking the red pill like never before. Chicago residents, slowly but surely, more people every day, they're just done with Democrats, and the meltdown has frankly been glorious, and again, it continues.
So this just proves to you the lack of leadership that you show in this city. You can't even give me straight eye contact. The people of Chicago, we're done with you. It is insane how we have been voting Democrat for over 60 plus years and we've never seen a change. Chicago was 37% red. In 2020, it was only 15%. So we're waking up.
You Democrats, and you remember you told us to defund the police? Let's defund the police detail that you have. And let's put the police back in our neighborhood, because we're not for defunding the police.
Absolutely amazing. These moments continue to pile up. Chicago's a city that's been run by Democrat leadership, probably going on a century at this point. Definitely on the better half of a century. And it seems like it's falling apart in front of our very eyes. Residents are fed up, and they're going scorched earth on the leadership over there. And that first lady in the clip, I think she's really speaking for millions of people. Just saying what needs to be said, not holding back, not even a bit. Even mirroring the Tom Homan sentiment, telling the mayor directly that if he wants to act tough like he'll go to jail for illegal migrants, well then Trump and Tom Homan should come and arrest him right now. Absolutely frickin' iconic. I agree wholeheartedly. There's a trend here, friends, and it's undeniable. Something is happening. You know, it's like I always say, this political momentum, it takes time. It slowly, step by step, chip by chip, starts to happen. And I think that's the story that's being told, especially by these residents. The first lady was sporting a t-shirt that said, "Turn Chicago Red." And then the other gentleman, wearing a suit with the MAGA hat, really building on the point, but I also think really nailing the point. These Democrats aren't taking this stuff seriously. He's absolutely right about that. And that at some point is going to backfire big time. And he presented the receipts suggesting that it's kind of already happening. I mean, let's just look at the presidential races in the state of Illinois from 2016 to 2020 to now 2024. In 2016 against Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump got 38.35% of the vote. In 2020, Donald Trump bumped up to 40.55%. And now in 2024, Trump's starting to slowly edge to 44% at 43.47%. Democrats are struggling to maintain their floor. Meanwhile, Donald Trump continues to expand his. Even with voter turnout being down from 2020 to 2024, Trump essentially maintained the same floor that he had against Joe Biden, even adding a couple thousand more votes. Democrats are tanking and Republicans are gaining. And that's just going into the election. Now, post-election, we're seeing the same trend, the same vocal critics, the same activism, and I think probably increased momentum. Because what's happening right now, I think, is very interesting. It's been a week of Donald Trump's presidency, and it's been nothing but achievement after achievement, knocking out priorities one after another, and things are starting to click for people, I think. The Democrats have been a disaster for years, and I think people are finally starting to realize it. Robbing, kidnapping, and stabbing people, just an average Tuesday in the woke world of sanctuary cities and Joe Biden's border crisis. You know, AOC, I seem to remember you being the person crying in front of that fence, going on about Donald Trump raising concentration camps at the southern border. Yeah, apologies, but with that kind of track record, in this political climate, you don't get to walk into promotions. Ooh, crazy concept. No, in fact, quite the opposite. I think these progressives are less walking into a political honeymoon phase here. Yeah, less of that and more of, I think, their worst political nightmare. The people have woken up.
You spent over $574 million on illegal immigrants here in Chicago, Illinois since 2022. Now, you still feel like you have to harbor these illegals, which is not a good idea. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to challenge Tom Homan on this because he's trying to clean up our cities, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Now, let me just remind everybody here that Brandon Johnson is terrible with the budget. How is this $40 million credit line is going to work exactly? Because the key word is credit. So how much will we be using from this $40 million? And the real question is, how much will we be paying back? Now, you want to sit here, you and J.B. Pritzker want to puff out your chest and fight Tom Homan. We need Tom Homan here in Chicago. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to see people like Pam Bundy and Kash Patel, haul you up out of here and become prosecuted. I don't want to see that happen. But they will do their job if they have to, Brandon Johnson. Now, we are $1 billion in debt. That's absolutely insane. Kamala Harris, she spent $1 billion on her campaign less than a year, and she's $20 million in debt. So it's looking like Democrats are bad with money. Now, I'm just humbly asking you, Brandon Johnson, to please come up with something that's reasonable by the end of this year, because I don't want to see a government shutdown, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Please do your job. I don't care if you're black. Chicago needs to get rid of DEI. I don't care if you're black. Can you do the job? Can you do the job, Mr. Brandon Johnson? And it's looking like you can't do the job. So please don't fail us.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars being spent to appease the woke mob, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes of the world, the Kamala Harrises of the world, the open borders Democrat. It's been stated clear and absolutely unequivocally that America does not want woke, and they certainly don't want woke leaders. People have come to a realization, the same realization that Elon Musk came to on Joe Rogan's show not too long ago.
The outcome of that mind virus is very clear if you walk around the streets of downtown San Francisco. It is the end of civilization.